Good morning. I'm News 9 Storm Tracker Alan Broerse from Oklahoma City, and this morning we're going to speak with a family in Norman, Oklahoma about their new OZ Saferoom. And here I have
I'm Steve.
Karen.
And Karen. They live in the Norman area, recently received a new Saferoom from OZ after extensive research, and we're going to talk to them about why they changed to OZ.
Well, we originally moved to Oklahoma in 2005, and so we were not very knowledgeable about storm rooms. So we asked our builder that was building our house what we should do, and they steered us away from the above ground, saying that wasn't safe and we should be underground, and they pretty much talked us into that. So we went with their advice, and we got the in-ground and had that installed. But after about 5 years, it started leaking, and we had 4 or 5 inches underground, and every day we had to go out and bail it out and use a vacuum. People that we bought it from gave us a lifetime warranty. It's all written up and paperwork and all that. But after that 5 years or so, I tried contacting the company, and they're nowhere to be found.
We've had my daughter's dog, a smaller dog. She was terrified to go down there. We couldn't even get her to come to the opening. Get her down there, she's just shaking. And then we've had a lineup of like 8 people trying to get in when the alarms are going, and trying to pass babies down and pets down and older people. And
Did you have to move the vehicle to be able to open that shelter, or?
we had to pull all the way up to the door here so we could get in.
Okay, and then what about the handrail that usually comes with these? Did you have to find the handrail and install it before you could even get down into it?
A little itty bitty one. It only helps for the first couple of steps, and then you kind of have to.
And what about that last step?
That last step was about like this.
Yeah.
And it was tricky getting
And
down there.
that's tough for some older people to make those steps and
Yes,
maneuver
it was
them
very hard.
without falling or bruising. When did you decide to replace your storm shelter then? After you had enough? What?
Well, I got tired of going down there and fixing it all the time, so we figured we wanted to get it above ground. And so we started researching them all, and went to county fairs and checked out all the steel ones too, and because we weren't really convinced we wanted to give up our 3-car garage.
Right.
And the steel were saying, oh yeah, you can put it in if you don't like it or move, you can take it with you.
So they said that your metal above ground shelter will be portable.
Yes.
How sturdy is a portable shelter?
Well, actually, when they first told me, I said, oh, yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. I don't have to worry about losing the garage. If we move, we just move it. And I started thinking about it. Yeah, if it's portable,
Yeah.
how safe is it actually?
Yeah, maybe it's portable in a tornado too.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, how do you feel now that you've replaced your tornado shelter with a tornado-proven Saferoom from OZ?
Much safer. I love this. You can get 8 people in here in like 10 seconds compared to 5 minutes over here.
And what about peace of
And
mind and
Peace
safety?
of mind, I feel so much safer in here. I just don't have the stress.
Okay, if peace of mind is 1 to 10 being rated and 10 being the best, how do you rate the OZ?
A 10,
Great.
a 10. The kids, the pets, terrified down there. And here, the grandkids come over and they want to play in here. They think it's great.
Well, that's awesome. Next question here, was it hard for OZ to go ahead and fill in the hole once they removed your old storm shelter?
They did an awesome job. They came out, and they cut the top of my in-ground, and cut the garage floor, and dug it all out. They just did an awesome job. They were very clean. They were very precise in their times, and when they left every evening, everything was cleaned up. No problem at all.
All right, once you did all your determination and your research and you chose OZ, how long did it take and how was your experience from start to finish with OZ? From the time you said, yes, I love your product, to the time they got through with it, how was your experience? Did they take care of you?
Oh, yes, they were awesome. Went down there, walked all the different shelters. And
So you went to the
picked out one.
showroom itself?
Went to the showroom, saw the one we wanted. They were out immediately and scheduled us. I think it was like a week later they were starting it, and took them 3 days to complete it.
Okay, so how is your confidence with Oz as opposed to the others that you researched?
Oh, there's night and day difference.
Okay.
Night and day difference.
All right.
I mean, how can you compare this to a little tin can?
That's exactly right. And for size comparison, in this Oz safe room, let's go in there with tall and short people to show you that everybody fits in an Oz.
And he's 6'5" and a half, and he fits.
Plenty of head space for all, tall and short. This is News 9 Storm Tracker Alan Broerse. I'm going to have to leave, so I'm going to leave it here with Andrew, Vice President of Oz. Come on in, Andrew.
Good morning, Alan. How we doing, sir?
Good,
Good to
good.
see you. How we doing, buddy? Nice to see you again. Well, you know, we're just wrapping up here, and we're happy now that your family has a place to go above ground where you don't have to worry about trying to crawl into the garage floor. And, you know, we just want to thank you for your business and trusting us.
Thank you. I'm sure my grandkids thank you too.
Oh, that's, you know,
They're
that,
gonna have fun in here.
that puts so much wind in our sails too, because, you know, we hear so many stories out there with people going into these underground shelters, having a hard time, the kids don't like them, even the animals don't like going into these underground shelters. Well, thank you for visiting the experts at OZ Saferooms, and I'm going to wrap up a little conclusion here after you leave and explain how we got this in this beautiful home you have. OZ Saferooms came into this home in Norman and took this underground shelter that was placed in the garage floor where you could park a car over it. Remember, you do not want 20 gallons of gasoline above your family's heads. That's why FEMA set a standard to put these up at the high end of the garage floor, not where you can park a car over it. But it's not too late. It's very simple. We come in, we saw cut the door off, pop the lid off, and fill it up solid with concrete, because you want all that weight to keep the shelter from popping out of the ground. So please, just because you have a storm shelter doesn't mean you can't replace it with the world's famous OZ Saferooms. Thank you. OZ Saferooms has been experiencing quite a few calls on these underground shelters leaking, filling up with water, creating mold inside of some of these units. And what we were able to do is come to Norman, Oklahoma here, and we removed an underground shelter that was placed in this garage floor. And they were experiencing leakage, mold, having a hard time getting in and out of their shelter. And what OZ Saferooms was able to do is we came in here, removed the concrete where we built this safe room, because that's what separates us from any other company in the world. When we build these structures, I pour the floor, the walls, and the ceiling in one continuous pour. This floor is 10 inches thick, 8-inch thick walls with an 18-inch thick ceiling. Did you hear that? That's 1.5 feet of concrete above your head. This is vibrated concrete, which is very important. You can't just pour concrete and expect it to be strong. This concrete is vibrated, which we get all the air out of our mix. Inside of the floor, walls, and ceilings, we have reinforced steel also. So what we did was we came in, removed the concrete, formed it. The second day we came in, we poured it. The third day we came in, dismantled the forms, installed the tile floor, and assembled the door. So weather permitting, it's a 3-day process. So what OZ Saferooms is trying to push in the community here is, you know, families have to be aware of what they're doing. The consumer goes to these other companies and they think that their lives are in good hands. Well, you know, this family spent their hard-earned money on an underground shelter. Within years, it started to fail. So what we want you to do is come down and see the experts at OZ Saferooms, because we're one of the only companies following the strict guidelines with what you call code. Code is law in construction. And there's reasons that, you know, FEMA spent millions of dollars doing research on products that work and don't work. You do not want to put an underground shelter in clay expansive soil. FEMA will recommend right in the FEMA 320, do not install an underground shelter in clay expansive soil or high water tables or flood prone areas. There's a reason for that. And that's what this family is experiencing, because they bought a shelter from a company that says they meet and exceed the FEMA standard. Well, they didn't, and that's why the shelter started leaking and filling up with water. But they moved forward, now they have the OZ Saferoom. So just because you have a storm shelter at your home doesn't mean you can't come and visit the experts at OZ Saferooms and get proven tornado protection. And remember, metal is a conductor. No matter how good you build something underground, I've seen incredible underground shelters fill up with water. I've seen metal shelters fill up with water, fiberglass fill up with water, and they also pop out of the ground with heavy rain. With this safe room, the safe room that I'm standing in weighs just under 30 tons of concrete. You're above ground. You don't have to worry about flooding or entrapment. And remember, metal is a conductor. If you're inside the OZ safe rooms and a power line or a transformer or your panel box lands on this unit, you're alive. And lightning is also very deadly. And certain gases, when they're spewing, look for the lowest points. So please come down and visit the experts at OZ Saferooms and let us protect your family. Thank you.